First thing we should be doing as a first-time buyer is looking into the financial side of things.
How much deposit you're going to need to have in place.
What sort of things do they need to consider as well from the financial side of things?
You have to prove your deposit at point of application. You might end up actually having affordability fall because those charges are so high they become a commitment. The affordability can then vary.
Hi everyone, I am Steph, Head of Sales at Power Bespoke, and I'm joined today by the lovely Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma. I am a mortgage broker for Saltwood Finance and Finance Planning Group, and also partner agent at Power Bespoke.
So you're going to get a really well-rounded approach today. We're going to discuss everything to do with moving home, whether you're a first-time buyer, first-time seller, upsizer, downsizer, whatever it is. We've got a little bit of segment for you to discuss your needs. So I think we're going to offer a really special approach today because obviously we're talking about that side of things and everything from the estate agency side, but actually Emma's going to give us a really good look into the mortgage side of things, how that's all going to work, things you should consider. And both of us also negotiate sales for buyers, not just sellers. So at Power Bespoke, we've got an advanced negotiation process that we go through that buyers can sign up for, or we're also negotiating on behalf of our sellers for their onward purchase as well. So we are going to be able to talk to you about a really well-rounded approach to everything, and hopefully give you some really good tips in this video. So let's dive in. The first thing we're going to discuss is first-time buyers, and what things that you should consider as a first-time buyer. So the first steps, I'm going to actually pass you over to Emma, because I very much believe, and you agree, that the first thing we should be doing as a first-time buyer is looking into the financial side of things and working out our affordability. So over to you.
Yeah, so absolutely. So first steps as a first-time buyer, you want to first off make sure that you've got an idea of the deposit that you are going to need and that you've actually got the deposit readily available. Speak to a broker. They'll be able to tell you based on what it is that you want to buy and the price of that property, how much deposit you're going to need to have in place. You've also got to remember about your cost of moving as well, and where that money is coming from, and have that ready, because you need that at point of the offer being accepted and progressing with the mortgage side of things. All of that has to be in place at that point. So just bear that in mind.
Because there are quite a few buyers who come to you, aren't there, who say they're going to save up for the deposit now over the next few months whilst the conveyancing is going through. And actually that's just not an option.
You can't do that. No, you have to prove your deposit at point of application. So we have to know where it's coming from. Even if it is a gift from family, all of that proof has to be in before the application goes in. And
what sort of things do they need to consider as well from the financial side of things when they are talking about affordability and things like that? You know, obviously there's a lot to the process. So can you just kind of talk them through it a little bit as to they come to you, then what happens?
Yeah, so normally when a customer comes to me, I get documents from them initially so that I can establish just overall what the options look like. Now, when you actually find a property, dependent on the type of property that you end up buying, the actual results of the affordability can then vary. So it's very important to go back and revisit the affordability side of things once you've started viewing and once you have an idea of the type of property that you're probably going to end up with, just so that you know that those figures are accurate. For example, if initially figures are run on the basis that you are looking at a freehold property but you end up buying a leasehold property that has management charges and ground rent charges, you might end up actually having affordability fall because those charges are so high they become a commitment. So you need to make sure that if that is the case and you've had the figures run initially on a freehold property and then the plan changes, that you are reassessed to make sure that that is accurate.
So basically, come see you, get some affordability, go out and view, find a property, but then before you do anything, so you do not offer, you go to Emma and you work out with Emma, actually, is this still affordable? What other charges might be involved? Anything else that they need to consider.
Exactly.
And then.
Yeah, and the other thing to be mindful of as well is that if you, say, had affordability checks and then months have passed because you haven't found anything, the lenders can change criteria and change the way that they assess affordability at any point without an awful lot of warning in a lot of instances. So even if nothing has changed in regards to what you're looking for, nothing has changed in regards to your income and your deposit or your commitments, you might still find that the lendable options have changed because of the way that the lenders are now assessing.
So your situation may not have changed, but the lender's situation
their
could have done.
stance could have, exactly. So it needs to be reassessed anyway, quite regularly throughout the process, just to make sure that you're on top of things.
I'm just going to take a minute as well to highlight that this is exactly why you speak to a broker and you don't just go directly to a bank. Because especially as a first time buyer, but for everyone involved, mortgages, I mean, I work in this field. This is what I do day in, day out. I still don't understand mortgages. I'm just doing an application myself. Emma's helping me out with it. It's a minefield. And realistically, you do want to have that support. And actually, as a first time buyer especially, someone, sounds cliche, but someone to hold your hand through the process and really look after you and support you and guide you through what you should be doing. Because also, there's a lot of things that I think estate agents say to first time buyers that a first-time buyer sort of goes, I don't even know what they really mean. There's just an assumption that they're going to understand us as agents when we say it. It's really useful for them to come to someone like you. So there are some terms I think that are really important to like explain to people. So like AIP is one that's thrown around quite a lot by estate agents.
Agreement in principle, or sometimes called a DIP, which is decision in principle. It's the same thing, but called different things.